Thank you for tuning into Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop on today's episode of Toy News. So this video should be relatively short. I say that. Let's see. So there are a few companies that I want to talk about in some toy news. And starting off, let's start off with Hot Toys. So Hot Toys has recently revealed their Tony Stark Quantum Realm suit figure. Figure will be priced at $235. It will come with a masked head as well as what I'm going to say is a solid portrait of Tony Stark, which shows him in his older age, and I like that because Hot Toys has given us pretty much the same Tony Stark head sculpt for the last 3 or 4 figures. So I'm glad to get an entirely new sculpt. Now here's something to consider. In the back of this particular photo, you can see Captain America. So following that theme, it is safe to assume that Hot Toys will give us all of the characters that wore the Quantum Realm suit in Avengers Endgame. And if I'm not mistaken, that's 10 figures. Let's see if I can count them off. That's Tony Stark's, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, the Hulk, Thor, Nebula, Rocket Raccoon, War Machine, and who am I forgetting? And Ant-Man. Completely forgot Ant-Man. So now, if you intend to add all 10 of these figures to your collection, you are looking at a price point of at least $3,000. I would expect that, being that the Hulk is a larger figure, that he's going to have a heftier price point, something priced around perhaps $330. So the question is, do you want to spend $3,000 to add these figures to your collection? For some, I'm pretty sure it's a no-brainer and they will. Others, you may want to pick certain characters. So I have no idea if I will actually collect these. If I do, once I go through my tour review, I'll let you know if it's a pass or a purchase. So continuing on with Hot Toys, they have released an image of the Pepper Potts rescue armor, and without a question, I will be adding this to my collection. At this time of the video, there's no price point for this particular figure, or no price that was shown, and we haven't seen accessories that will be coming out with this figure. I expect that information should be released by the end of May. Staying with the same company, but moving on to a different franchise, Hot Toys has also showed their Stormtroopers, and I'm very happy that they decided to re-release these figures. I missed on the original versions, and now I can pick up a few to add to my Star Wars collection. So I believe that they are priced at $200 for the standard version, and there's an increase for the deluxe version, which comes with a LED-lighted diorama. Also, the Hot Toys Star Wars Obi-Wan figure has officially released in the United States. So for those of you who pre-ordered, that figure should have already shipped. And I know I passed Marvel news. However, the Black Panther figure has also released, and if you pre-ordered it, it should have started shipping as of last week. So moving on to Hasbro, they released official images from their Avengers Endgame line. And I'm probably going to pass on the majority, if not all, of the figures. So the 1 or 2 figures that I'm thinking about adding to my collection, one of the characters is from Serpent Society. So I'm not even sure if I'll purchase him for my Marvel Legends lineup. I'll probably stick him in my Masters of the Universe Classics lineup. The other figure that I'm thinking about adding is the Union Jack. Aside from that, it comes with Rescue. It comes with a War Machine. So in the movie, there were 2 versions of War Machine. One sported this very heavy armor. So the Hasbro version is completely inaccurate to the movie. And I'm not faulting Hasbro for that. I know sometimes what they do in order to get action figures out quickly is that they take the preliminary sketches and they release action figures based on those concepts. So I'm pretty sure down the line we'll probably receive a more movie accurate version of War Machine. We also receive Rescue, which looks pretty accurate to the film. Who else comes in this lineup? Better Ray Bill. However, I'm more of a fan of his classic costume rather than the more modern take. So one way that Hasbro typically gets me, when I see figures that I don't want, a lot of times I still want to build a figure. So now you're left with either purchasing a bunch of figures that you don't want in order to put together the build a figure, or buying the pieces separately. So fortunately for me in this case, I will be doing neither. I have no interest in getting this build a figure Hulk. This was just it was sort of a cop out. It looks, and I could be completely wrong because I'm just going by the images, but it looks to be a very similar version of the Hulk that came with the 2-pack of the Hulkbuster, and also the Hulk that came, I don't remember the wave, but it's not a lot of new hair. There are some sculpted pants with tears in them, and the head sculpts are completely new. However, I'll be passing on this entirely. For those that are not in a rush, and I know I should move on from this, for these particular figures, it's probably better to wait. I feel confident that Hasbro are going to re-release a number of these figures, perhaps giving Hulk a suit, glasses. There's no gauntlet that comes with him. With the Pepper Potts figure, there's no alternate head. The same thing with War Machine. So I would probably wait to see if they reintroduce these figures later on down the line. So now to combine some Hot Toys and Hasbro news together. So Hot Toys released images of 4 versions of their in-game Infinity Gauntlet and Nano Gauntlet. So we saw 2 that were done in the quarter scale, which was one that Iron Man wore, and the second was the one that Hulk wore. And then we saw actual replicas. So the Iron Man replica is priced at $385, and it's cheaper than what I thought it would be. I remember the Thanos gauntlet was close to $1,000. They have not released the price of the Hulk gauntlet as yet, or Nano gauntlet, excuse me. I'm suspecting that it will be closer to that $900 mark than the $400 mark. Now, Hasbro has also released theirs. In the past, I felt like, hey, purchase the Hasbro version for the $100 that it is and simply repaint it. And if you're not a repainter, find someone to repaint it, and it'll still come out cheaper than you would buying the Hot Toys version. However, in this case, and I can be wrong, the Hasbro version looks to be completely inaccurate. I'm trying to figure out which figure this Nano Gauntlet goes to. I'm assuming that it's to the Hulk. However, even with that, it's a bit inaccurate. There are some patterns that are down on the bottom that I don't remember the Gauntlet having. And as I'm looking at the Hot Toys version for comparisons, I don't see it. So this is probably the one time that I would say, instead of paying the $100 for this particular version, it may be better off spending the $385 and buying the Nanotech version that comes with Hot Toys. So moving on to Mezco, and this one will be relatively short. Mezco introduced 2 releases. The first would be their 18-inch King Kong figure that comes with 3 interchangeable head sculpts and I believe 3 pair of hands. The figure will be priced at $250, and the information that I have is that it will ship for free. Moving on will be Mezco's John Wick. I didn't know if I wanted this figure till I see it, and now I want it. So John Wick, I'm not sure if there will be a regular version and a deluxe version. However, the deluxe version is what is shown. And he comes with a number of accessories. I want to say about 7 guns in total. I think 2 shotguns, maybe 4 handguns, and an assault rifle. I think he comes with, I know he comes with a knife, maybe some flashbangs or grenades, a chest to store all of these items in. And it will be priced at $120. I feel like I do not want to pay $120 for a 6-inch figure. I may have to make the exception for this one. And Mezco will be doing pre-orders for this starting May 16th. So moving on to my last bit of news today, and it will be Storm Collectibles. So Storm Collectibles has finally released official images and pricing for Gal. And I just want to scream a little bit. So I've been waiting for Gal for such a long time, and the pictures look absolutely amazing. And I feel confident that this will probably be one of my 10 best figures out of the year. Excuse me, 12 best figures out of the year. So Gao comes with 4 interchangeable head sculpts, a number of hands, and he comes with all of his effect pieces or specials in the Street Fighter game. There's the Sonic Boom. What do you call the kick? Was it the Flash Kick? Well, whatever you call it, he comes with those accessories. And I just can't wait to add him to my collection. Gao will be priced at $85, and he will be released first at San Diego Comic-Con, which I believe is in July. So moving on, Storm Collectibles also showed us a newer version of Ryu. And I gotta say, I think that this is a pass for me. It looks very similar to the Ryu that just released late last year at New York Comic-Con, which was the angry version of Ryu. I believe he has a different name. I can't remember at the moment. And I always felt like that figure, it looked weird once it came to the neck. I don't know if the neck was too short or the face was too long. However, the combination of both just made the head and neck look as one, and I ended up skipping purchasing that figure. So now we're receiving basically another version of that. Aside from that, we are receiving a Ken, and I've been waiting for Ken for so long, but then again, this Ken looks very similar to Violent Ken. Almost exactly. Even the head sculpts or facial sculpts look to be very similar, if not identical. And I can't truly tell in the images, but his gi looks to be the same color. Now, I've purchased the Violent Ken figure. The gi has some orange, like an orange hue in its coloring. I'm hoping that this new version is more red. Ken is my favorite character, so I'm pretty sure that I will purchase it. I was expecting the head sculpt to look a little different, and I don't know if that's just me. Like, I felt like with Street Fighter 2, Ken looks a little bit different from the Storm Collectible figure. And I feel like with Storm Collectibles, one thing that they do extremely well is capturing the exact image of that figure in the game. I feel like for Ken, that didn't come across the best. So let me know if I'm bugging out or if I'm onto something here. And that will be it for today's toy news. I said that it will be quick, and as I look down, we're over 14 minutes. So if you stuck through this, I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop Toy News, and I hope to catch you during the next review.